Welcome back to the RILxWILLS Pod.
Welcome back, people.
It's not the usual backdrop. We're not in the crib today. We're in the NFL head offices. Why? Because we're interviewing. I'd like to say, I've watched your highlights. And he is sacked. For those that don't know what sack means, it means when you take out the quarterback. Okay, so we see Prescott's on your list, Breeze's on your list, Brady's on your list.
A lot of bodies.
Yeah. It's the one and only Efe Obada today.
Thank you.
How you doing, man?
I'm good.
I don't like when people make me feel small. I'm gonna start off on that note, but you definitely achieved that. I saw you come out the lift.
Do that for a lot of people, trust me.
Right. How you feeling, man, here today anyway?
Honestly, I'm good. I'm grateful you guys let me on your podcast, and just grateful to be here, man. Just be back in London. It's been a long season for sure. So being back home, it's definitely needed for the soul. And
we was touching on a little topic off camp that I said let's save it. We're gonna get into obviously your story and everything. We're gonna start off on what's happening this weekend. Mm-hmm. Joshua Blitz versus Dan Aziz, big fight happening on Sky Sports.
Huge.
How are you feeling about that one? What makes you want to see that fight?
That fight specifically, I like Joshua. Me and him, like a while back, we did a training session together. I wanted to just kind of see how boxing would help me in my game in terms of hand-eye coordination, hand speed. It just translates by being a defensive end, getting opponent's hands off me. And and I just could respect, and I met him and I respect his journey. I respect everything that he's done, his approach to the game, his professionalism, and we just hit it off. And then ever since then, I've just been a fan. So just knowing that he's about to fight in Wembley this Saturday, I'm excited, man. Hopefully I'm gonna be there supporting him, and hopefully he gets that knockout.
You see, there's proof, people, that Ghanaians and Nigerians do get along. For real. They can get along. Okay, don't follow the normal narrative. Yeah, I'm sitting here, I'm Ghanaian, so we're making it run. But no, we've got a few questions that we want to get into. Lee had some good questions.
But shoot the first I just wanted to start off. So I'm a alumni, a London Blitz player. London Blitz people out there. We've got a former London Warrior guy. That was the ops back in the day. The season I retired. If he came in the game, I heard his name.
What are you trying to say?
He retired.
What are you trying to say?
Me and a certain few other men retired. That's why the Warriors won the season. We won the bat. But yeah, want to big up Adam because he's a great guy, man. He used to help me out. He changed the game for linebacker for me. Like the tips he was giving me whilst playing against his team, he helped me level up a lot. And I see him doing a lot of work with you when you started coming to the game, so I want to big him up, man. He's a good guy.
For sure, he is a good guy. Definitely pinnacle in my journey and my success. Took the time to like really, take me out of the Warriors and coach me up and educate me on the game. And then when the opportunity presented itself, he was there and supporting me. And I obviously like the same. I just pick him up right now. He's a defensive line coach for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. Okay. And hopefully he just keeps getting better and just keeps getting more opportunities to be a defensive coordinator. And who knows, maybe an NFL coach. Might have a first English NFL coach. But he's just making moves. So just proud of him. Yeah, but London Blitz.
Because I'm honest, and I'm not clued up on NFL American football. Yeah. I know about it because I played Madden for a long time. That was my first education on the game.
Nice.
But I knew Blitz and Warriors was the two London teams, and they don't play.
Yeah, we call it the ghetto bowl, innit?
The ghetto bowl.
The ghetto bowl. Like it was serious, man.
It really was. Honestly, that rivalry was something else, man. But
it won't end either, innit? It's just one of those things.
It's different now, though. It's different. Yeah, it wasn't the rivalry back then in comparison to what it is right now. It's definitely different. I think it's died down a little bit right now, but back then it was problems. It was problems. You might even see someone on the road and be like, you know what?
Yeah, for real. I told you, one of the security guards for the boxing. He used to play for. You said. Me and him have like serious like it could go left. But it was serious.
That makes the competition on the field real. You know what I mean? And you hear that discussion a lot about, especially in the NBA community, about people being friends a lot.
Right.
The teams, they play for other teams, but they chill together. They're family friends and whatnot. And does that affect how you go through it on the court? Most probably.
It does. Of course,
you know
it
what I mean?
does.
Because you're not looking at this guy as an enemy. It's only a game to you now at this point.
I think it can go both ways. You know what I mean? At the same time, you see someone across that and is your friend, and it might make you a bit complacent. But at the same time, if I'm across someone that I know that I'm gonna embarrass them. You know what I mean? If I know you, I'm gonna. It makes me calmer, and I just know that I'm gonna embarrass you, so that when we go back and I'm on the phone to you, I'm like, listen up. You know what I mean?
The right competitive nature.
That's the nature. I think there's a competitive nature. If you have that deeply set inside you,
for sure,
then you will, regardless, put things to the side. Like we were saying, similar to Blitz and Aziz, they're best of friends, but they're gonna have to put that aside this week
for sure.
But let's talk about how you develop that competitive nature. Let's see about some of the journey of getting to where you are today. The longest serving UK player in the NFL. Yeah, that's not a joke. That's something that you should be giving your flowers for and respect.
Not for real.
I appreciate
for real.
that,
And a lot of people say NFL stands for not for long.
Yeah,
And you've been there for long.
for a minute.
So how did that develop in you, the competitive side? From when did you first realize, where did that hunger come from that I'm gonna win, I'm gonna get there?
From my upbringing, you know what I mean? From London, from growing up in London, from being an African, from being a Nigerian, just having that work ethic already instilled in me, and then just the lack of opportunities around us, in South London and,
part of South London?
Brixton.
Okay.
So, just honestly, the whole of Lambeth really, because I grew up in Care, so I was just moving around the whole of Lambeth, but predominantly Brixton, Stockwell. And then, so it's just that, and then not having any opportunities. Initially, football was like your first love. You just pick a ball up, kick around.
Was you good at football, soccer? For those,
well, this is how it worked. I started off as a striker, and then slowly.
That's funny.
You know what I mean?
I hear it.
So I just started work my way back, but then there's just not a lot of opportunities. I think the only closest thing I came to seeing some real opportunities in that sport was Fulham when they came to Lockwood Park, and they'll hold a couple sessions, but it really never went anywhere. And then also I'm an immigrant. I was an illegal immigrant, so I couldn't really further my education or get real jobs. So it was a lot of cash in hand, all of that stuff. Yeah. So just lack of opportunity. So when I was given this golden ticket to play had try out for Dallas and play in the NFL, I just knew that I needed to give it everything I had. I needed to commit, and because there's nothing else. If I fail at this journey, if I fail at this golden ticket, I'm coming back to London. I'm coming back to South, doing the same things I used to do, and probably hang around the same people I used to hang around. You know what I mean? So that's really what instilled that hunger and that opportunity, that drive in me. Yeah.
So prior to playing American football in the UK, was you going gym or was you athletic? What was your?
It's complicated. It's complicated. No, it's very complicated.
Some things don't have to be said.
Yeah, of course. It's very complicated. I started, obviously, when I found American football, I started training, started lifting, but but prior to that, weren't really playing any sports. Just on survival mode.
Okay. Now, because I remember your name. This guy's beasting people. He was beasting people. So that's what I was wondering. Was you getting gym beforehand or whatnot?
No, I wasn't. But it was like you said, it's just an environment where you can put that out. You can
get your aggression, frustration
in a positive manner.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that's what I was doing. There was a lot of frustration. There was a lot of anger in my personal life and then American football allowed me to express that and put it in a positive light, and just be a part of a brotherhood, be a part of a community, and I think that's really what made me good, because the first time I put someone down, I thought I did something wrong.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then everybody's like, oh, and I was like, okay, then I just...
Adrenaline's crazy.
Yeah, to that feeling. Of just knowing, I can crush you and it elevates me. That's how I feel with boxing, though. That's how I feel with boxing. It's that you can beat someone up and only get praise for it.
Right.
Your life elevates. Your life elevates the more you attack.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And when you come from what you came from, to have that release and it benefit your life, it's like a win-win situation.
It really is.
So you start playing, you play for the Warriors, you get the opportunity now to try out for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That feeling when you got that that green light, did you cry?
It didn't happen straight away. So they came to London to play in Wembley. You know, they as they do nowadays, they play in Wembley, Tottenham, and you know, so they came in Wembley. Aiden was doing an internship at the time for them. So he facilitated a workout, saying to the defensive coordinator, which was Rod Marinelli at the time, okay, I got this kid. He's big. He's athletic. He's, you know, he has the tools. You know, just have a look at him. You know, and I was working in a warehouse at the time. He said, you know, you got nothing to lose. So I go there. You know, he's there like, okay. After practice, all the players left. They're like, okay, we're gonna make you run a 40, hit some bags. Let's see what you got. I'm literally in my boxes. I run a 40 as fast as I can. I hit the bags as hard as I can.
In your boxes?
In my boxes. And then,
see, I don't want to hear no. You see, this is why me and Lee don't like excuses. We don't deal with excuses because if Efe is out here, you're trying to change your life in his boxes. Then you guys have no excuse for the shorts. Yeah? But anyway, sorry.
When the opportunity comes, you've got to take it.
You have to
seize it.
You have to.
Sorry to.
And then, no, it's okay. And then they left. They went back. Finished the season, didn't have a good season. Then the following year, when I was making their roster, I get a call in April saying, okay, we want to give you an opportunity. Quit my job immediately. Of course. And then just went straight into football, went straight into training. And then, yeah, and I just went, and then that was it. That was it, really.
So, before you went to Dallas the first time, did you ever think, am I good enough? Did you ever question yourself or doubt yourself?
I doubt myself before and during my whole career.
Okay.
You know, so initially when I went there, I had this imposter syndrome. I didn't feel like I belonged. A lot of guys had the backing of colleges, they knew coaches. You know, they've been playing this sport since they were 4 years old. You know, so and I just picked it up. I only played 5 games for the Warriors.
I can remember.
You know, so I'm still learning. I'm still new. Initially, I started off as a tight end.
Yeah.
So that was, and then after the learning curve was so high because I needed to learn blocking, I needed to learn routes, I needed to learn, you know, just the game. Yeah. But then, so I moved over to defense because it was just see ball, get ball. You know, and that was more easier to learn. So there definitely was moments where I doubted myself. You know, and then also after getting released, after getting cut, getting your ass beat constantly by, you know, offensive pro bowlers and, you know, guys that are first rounders. That makes you definitely doubt yourself, making mistakes constantly, you know. But I just, like I said, this was my way out, and I wasn't gonna let go.
So you had to learn the game in a short amount of time.
Of course.
How did you find yourself learning the game? Was you playing Madden? Was you watching football constantly?
Oh, constantly. I was watching football constantly. I've got a folder on my Instagram that I've just been collecting over the years, and it's just pass rushings and football. I've got film. I'm first one in. I'm the first one out. Like, it's been documented. Like, I'm probably when I was in Carolina, I'm always the first one on the field, but last one out because I'm in a foreign country on a visa. Right. You know, for the reason of playing football. Right. So everything it's just a constant reminder that I'm only here for this one thing, and this one thing is the only thing that's keeping me here. So I just commit. Like this is my 9th season. I've probably only been on holiday once because every off season I'm either doing rehab or I'm learning or I'm trying to close that gap and I'm trying to get better and develop my craft because I know it's such a small window. You know, going into it, everyone says that, you know, NFL's not for long. I've been very grateful that I've been here, but that's always been my mindset. Yeah,
you know, and it's not based on luck either. Yeah. Saying that you've only been on holiday once, probably in the last 9 years. You're making it last long. Right. Your decisions are making your career long. You know, and that's the key thing. You know, it's not based on some people last, some people don't. That is the case sometimes. But what are you doing to help your case? Help, and clearly that's what you're doing. When you first moved over now to play for the Cowboys, what was the feeling being in the city? You know, just like the surroundings, the teammates, that freshman vibe. You know? Is that a real thing where you get obviously you're a big guy. So people know to chill a little bit. Not take it too far.
But everyone's big over there.
But it ain't for real, it's not really deep.
No,
but what was the vibe from the players and how welcoming were they to you being a new member of the team and knowing that you're not that experienced either in the game?
So I think it was a mixed batch because initially I was embraced because I was in that draft class. So with the rookies, I was embraced, and with the guys in my group, I was embraced. And they was teaching me, and they saw the potential. In terms of coaching, it was very hard because it's a business, and it's a what have you done for me lately business. You know, so if I'm not able to add to that team, to add to that success right now, they really don't really focus on you because everybody touches everybody's money. So they don't have that trust to be able to put me out there. So a lot of the development I had to do by myself. So I needed to make sure it was hard for me to like earn their trust. So, but the players, they were good. They were amazing. You know, they treated me like everybody else. You know, every now and again, the little odd English jokes and tea and crumpets, all of that stuff, standard stuff. But they knew that I was different. Obviously, the South London accent comes out a little bit more. Of course. You know, they were very intrigued about the white goat tooth, all of that stuff. So, but no, and then it was nice. It was different. But it was like I said, I was just focused.
Because we see programs like Hard Knocks, you see a lot of people getting sent home. So during your time, you see a lot of people getting sent home, getting cut. How was you feeling at that time? Was it very
I was one of those people. I was one of those people. You know, so like I said, I'm still learning, and I wasn't really applying. I wasn't really adding any value, but they saw the potential. They saw that I gave up my life in the UK to pursue this dream. I quit my job, so in Dallas, I probably got released like 6 times. But they said, you know, we'll put you in a hotel and we'll bring you back because they weren't having success. But I was always the first person on the chopping board. So they'll release me, bring someone in that they thought would add value. Then in the following week, they'll bring me back so that I can learn and develop. And then that kept happening. But like at the time, I was making like, I was in a practice squad. I was probably making like $3,000 a week, and you know, when I was here working in the warehouse, I wouldn't even make it out in a month. So whether you really, you know what I mean? So I was still up. I was still grateful. I was still happy, you know, at where I was. I just knew that I needed to develop. I knew that I could do this. I just needed time to develop. And a lot of guys got the opportunity to go to college, high school, and develop and know who they were. I was making all my mistakes in the NFL. So exactly. So that was one of the biggest hurdles for me.
So when you get cut from a team, it's not always a complete cut. Like you don't always. It's not like okay, you're not on the team anymore and you go home. Sometimes they put you in a hotel and put you in
So my situation was definitely unique. So for a lot of people, it is a complete cut. Or they will tell you when they release you that okay, we're gonna bring you back. Stay ready. We're gonna bring you back. Sometimes they're true to their word. Sometimes they're not. In my situation, they were true to their word and they kept bringing me back. And sometimes when you do get cut, there's a 24-hour window where other teams can claim you. But I didn't have a lot of film. I didn't have a lot of experience. So I would just kept going under the radar, kept going unclaimed. So, but I'm just grateful that Dallas gave me the initial opportunity because without that, I wouldn't have been able to get to America and actually pursue this.
Of course. But that's why, you know, we say everything happens to us for a reason, right? Everything happens to us for a reason because if your journey was smoother on the way up and you did go high school, you did go college, when they were suggesting to you to be on the practice team, you did.
I wouldn't.
Because you said I deserve more than this. You know what I'm saying? If your journey was smoother, you probably would have dipped.
I know myself. If I was in America, I'm grateful the way it happened because from a teen, I was a problem child, so I wouldn't have committed. A lot of guys tell me that they've been playing from 4. This game is difficult, man.
I believe it.
This game is hard. It's rough, right? Like to be able to play this game from 4 and commit and know that you go to high school, you know, there's only a small percentage of people that actually have the ability to go from that age all the way through and then have that consistency. Guys are coming into the league with surgeries and injuries and just so much mileage on their bodies. You know, so I'm just grateful that it happened the way it happened. I wish I would have found it a little bit earlier in the UK. But in regards to like how it happened, it's my journey. It's what God had planned for me, so I can't complain.
No, definitely not. I always think if I was born in the States, I would have played. I think I would have. Yeah, I don't know if it would have been my career.
Yeah.
I think maybe I still would have ended up a boxer because boxing's big over there as well. But I think I would have got involved because it's rough.
How did you start boxing?
My dad used to box.
Yeah.
So my dad used to box and he didn't turn professional or anything, but he had like amateur career, kind of on and off. And then he's only had one fight I've seen. I was 4.
Did he win?
And he didn't win. and I remember at that time, obviously I'm 4 years old, the brain is simple. So I thought if you win, you're a winner. If you lose, you're a loser.
Right.
So I said to him, you're a loser. And then he was like, cool. You try it. Yeah. And then I had like a natural knack to it. But he always says now, like looking back at it in hindsight, because he was watching it so much, I'm sitting on his lap and I'm just watching it. It's just sinking into my subconscious. So by the time he told me get up and throw this, I could throw it. Wow. So then he said, all right, I'm gonna do something with you. And then from then, and I've always boxed since 6 years old.
That's
so
crazy.
now, finally like professional. I always wanted to be a professional. Right. Never wanted to do the amateur game. And then now I'm a professional English champion, hopefully pushing to be British champion soon.
Flowers.
So thank you, man.
Nah, amazing. Who was a boxer that you looked up to coming up?
Roy Jones.
Roy Jones
Jr., man.
Yeah.
Because he just, like, as a kid, he's doing like superhero things.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like
right.
I'm thinking, I'm not seeing no one put their hands behind their back like this. I'm not seeing no one have the charisma. Like, he's rapping when he's coming out. It's just like, he just had that. So it's like watching Ronaldinho.
I get that.
And football is like, this guy's cold. You know what I mean? But man, that's my little bit of my journey.
Well, last question on that though.
Well,
if you could pick anyone, any time period to fight,
Roy Jones.
You fight Roy Jones?
Yeah, I always say that. Wow. Because I just want to see the smoke he was dishing. Yeah. I just want to see it. That's what it is. I always say that. If people ask me, I'm like, I want to fight my favorite.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I want to fight my favorite. I feel like you should want to go up against your favorite to see if they could do you dirty, like what they done to many others. You know what I mean? But that's just a little ego thing.
Yeah, it's an ego thing. You ever been put to have you ever heard the question of, can you take a bang from Mike Tyson, prime Mike Tyson, for like 100 million?
Yeah, I'll take the bang.
You take the bang?
I might go sleep. But hey, you know when I wake up, I'll be richer than I was before. That's like most expensive sleep not having to in my life. But no, for real, you take the bang for 100 mil?
Oh no!
He's up there. This
guy's getting crushed weekly.
No,
crushing people weekly.
No, honestly, it's just anything can happen.
It's true.
Anything can happen, and that's. And you might wake up, you might not. You might wake up not yourself.
Well, worst case scenario, I know my mum and that, and everyone's good.
Everyone's good.
Fair.
Back to your career. Back to your career. I'm gonna have to bring you as a co-host.
There we go. Let's do it.
Career. So how did you feel after your first completed season? So after running through your first season, going traveling around, playing all these games, bonding with the team, having your successes, how did you feel after that first season was complete? After all the trials and tribulations?
It wasn't, I didn't feel anything.
Oh, yeah, your stats were good.
I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel nothing. I felt like I wasn't done.
Okay.
I felt like I wasn't, because I had this goal of getting to this place and on financially, stats, a starter, all these other things. And in terms of like my ability, my confidence, all of that. And from my first season, I just felt like I wasn't there. So I never celebrated. I never did anything. I didn't smell the roses. I just went back to the lab and I just said, I'm not there yet. And I did that for maybe 5 or 6 years until I really came out. And until it was like my wife was like, "Bro, you're so miserable. Like, why don't you ever? You've done this, you've done that, you've done this. Everything you've prayed for, everything you've asked for, you've achieved, but you're still miserable. You're still like, oh, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough." Until I was like, okay, let me take a step back. And when I took a step back, And I look back and I was like, okay, wow, I've actually, because I was so focused on the goal, on trying to achieve it, that everything, every accolade, every achievement, you know, just fell short. You know, it just felt like I wasn't there yet. But looking back on it, I just wish I enjoyed the journey a little bit more. Okay. But it was just so much of, I got to do this. I got to get this. I got to get this.
I heard that a lot from experience.
You know,
athletes.
Yeah, so that's what it was. I was just so focused. I was just so focused.
That's what they always say. Like, I guess the winner's mentality is I can watch it later. I can sit down later when I'm retired and take it in. But when you're, I guess, in those moments, and we will know during the career, we will go through those mental moments where you're down and whatnot because of that pressure. Right. Because you're telling yourself, I'm trying to be here, I'm trying to be there. Those moments is when it is good to do a little reference check and say, no, but I've made it this far.
Yeah. Right.
And the gap between you being in South and growing up in foster care and then being in the league, you're very close. You know what I mean?
I get that, yeah.
But at the same time, that part of you is why you've been in the league for 9 years.
Yeah. So also the curse of chasing excellency.
Excellency.
So
not being content.
Never being content.
Yeah, that's what I didn't want. I didn't want complacency and contentment to seep in. You know, and when I was, you know, I'm in the locker room with guys that are elite, guys that are, you know, pro bowlers, MVPs, you know, first rounders, you know, getting the big money contracts. And that was what my vision was. I wasn't really focused on, you know, everything that I wasn't looking at my journey and my path. I was just looking at my peers, and that was what it was. You know, obviously people say comparison is the thief of joy, but you know, that's what I wanted to achieve. I wanted to be financially set. I wanted to be going clear. Like I really wanted to just knock it out.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's worse to be so close to a certain lifestyle and achievements rather than be completely removed from it. Because you're like, how am I in the same room as you? But I don't live your life.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't feel what you feel.
Right.
But yet, if people ask me, I can say that's my teammate.
Right.
You know, and I think that's a mad motivation in itself.
Right.
Because I would talk for Lee as well. We experienced that when we was running around with JJ, with KSI. We used to train him. And he has a life that we said, wow, we're this close to it.
Right.
But how are we going to get it for ourselves? If he decided to live his life and leave us, are we ever going to get on a jet again?
to make money now.
And since we're so grateful that he showed us that, because it made us think we have to achieve this for ourselves. Right. I need my jet,
and it's possible.
You know, I need to make sure I can cover my family how he covers his people. Right. I want to bring my friends in how he brought me in.
Yes.
So it gave us that extra like fire to say we're going all the way. We got to achieve this.
I like that.
And in regards to finances, have you seen ESPN's 30 for 30 broke?
No.
When it talks about
that's
a lot of the
NFL
players or NBA players, they come into their first check, they blow their money, cars, partying, etc. So how was your come up? Did you blow money straight away, or was you investing, good finance?
Listen, I only started spending money last year.
Jeez.
So every money, every check I've made, I lived like how I've lived, like as if I was working in the warehouse.
Okay,
you know,
good.
And I've been very fortunate to be married to a woman that, you know, has been with me from nothing. So she understood.
Shout out to Mrs.
You know, shout out to Mrs.
Big her up.
Big up to Mrs.
Trust me.
So she was very supportive. She was very understanding, very patient. You know, and it's only last year that I've said, okay, you know what, I'm a little bit more comfortable. You know, and some of it was that scarcity mindset of, you know, when is this going to get taken away from me? So if it does get taken away from me, this is where I am, and I'm going to cut my cloth to fit where to fit. I didn't want to go and keep and spend, and then, you know, it's just, I've seen it happen. I learned. I watched the black athletes, I watched the white athletes, I watched the coaches, I watched how everybody carries and spends their money. And then one day guys will just get hurt, and we would literally move 10 yards and forget about them. And trainers be looking after them, and the game continues, the sport continues, you know what I mean? So I just saw that. And initially not having the success that straight away, getting released, getting cut, made me very aware that this game can get taken away from me anytime. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna save my money, whether it be 1, 2, 3 years, and then I'll cut my cloth, and then I'll figure it out. thank God, by the grace of God, I'm still in it.
So,
You know, and but I've been very responsible with my money. Very responsible.
You know what? If it was truly, the African community is better with the bread than the Caribbean.
I don't want to.
The Caribbean, you know what? You're too lavish.
Is this what we're doing? Is that what we're doing?
The Caribbeans back in the day, like the grandparents,
They were good.
They was good.
Yeah.
But like the first generations and that, it happens when people get westernized, innit?
It's different. It's different. I don't want to start this. But I will say, even not just the African and Jamaican community. I think in the Black community, we focus on expressing and showing our wealth as opposed to retaining it and investing it and growing it.
100%.
It's very much, you know, how we're perceived and how the world perceives us as opposed to what is actually going on in your real life.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You can you can be broke at home but rich in the roads. But I would rather be, look broke in the roads and be, so
that comes with the maturity.
Exactly. So
and knowledge.
Right. So I just think in our communities that we all need to figure out a way to just make sure that we're not living for perception, and actually and that's it. Really.
It's just the definition of cool. The definition of cool. We need to change the definition.
Exactly.
Of cool.
Exactly.
What cool is defined as isn't helping no one.
Exactly.
Long term.
And not
you know
at
what
all.
I mean? If cool did become, I have the most investments, how many do you have?
Right.
It would change things.
Yeah,
I agree.
And hopefully, with your journey, through the podcast, through the world being more open and knowledge being in people's hands, we can spread that message.
Right.
And then the people coming up after us can say, yeah, man, these men were speaking the real sense.
Right.
Don't listen to them, man.
Stop buying Jordans.
I'm not going to just...
Stop wasting your money on Jordans.
I was trying to speak words here. Some James will be caught. I'm going to keep it 100.
It's a trap.
Yeah,
It's a trap.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Stop buying Jordans. Stop buying chains until there's priorities, right? There's priorities.
Now we're going to get into the juicy bit.
What's the
fun bit? This is the bit I want to know. How did it feel to sack Tom Brady? Because we all know this guy, arguably, or not even arguably, but he's probably the greatest quarterback.
Yeah, he's a GOAT.
He is.
And you can say, there he is, I'm going to get him.
Right.
And you've done it more than once.
Yeah. No, I've only done it once. Only done it once, yeah. Hit him a couple of times, but I only sacked him once. Yeah.
Now, I know what you're going to say, I didn't really take it in like that.
How did you feel?
Okay, let me. It starts off like that, right? Because I'm in a game and we're losing.
Okay.
And we're losing, and I hate losing.
Yeah.
In anything, in life, in sport, and being a competitor, you just hate losing. So he's in the red zone, and I beat my guy, and I sack him, and then I think we get off the field, we still end up losing, but I was just so focused on losing. But when I get to my phone, and after the game, my phone was blowing up, and everyone was like, "Oh, you just sacked Tom Brady," and that's when it hit me. I was like, okay. I just sacked Tom Brady, one of the greatest to ever do it. I've got a few other guys on my hit list that I need to get before, God says it's my time.
Who's on the list?
Well, Lamar Jackson's on the list.
Okay.
Mahomes is definitely on the list.
So,
I like CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud's on the list. He's definitely, he's gonna be great. So I want to get him now. Who else is on the list?
You got a few men on there.
Cam Newton was on the list. I got him. Josh Allen was Josh Allen's on the list.
You got Cam Newton as well?
Yeah, I got Cam Newton. Josh Allen's on the list because we played against each other. He was my locker mate. So when we was able to play Buffalo, I was hurt. So I was so pissed. He's on the list. Who else is on the list? I think just those guys. Yeah.
Jeez,
but
that's mad though.
But no,
I know your phone was going crazy.
it was going crazy. It was going nuts, and then I was just like, okay, wow, I've achieved that, and I think I was just talking smack to a few of the other guys that from London that played American football, like, oh yeah, hurry up, and some of the academy kids. I was like, hurry up. I've sacked Tom Brady. Make sure you come and get him before he retires. And
what was the team's reception of it? Did the coaching staff or like within your team say, yeah, well, that's big, like, well done?
Some of my teammates said that. But like I said, we lost, so the mindset wasn't really on your personal achievements. It was more of a team game. Yeah. So, but individually, like, I'm just happy. I sacked Drew Brees the year before he retired, so I was very happy about that. I just want to get as much, legends as possible. Yeah, before.
Wow.
So in terms of the feeling or the sensation, what do you prefer, the sack or the interception?
Oh, a sack for sure.
Yeah?
There's nothing like it. There's nothing like a sack. You know, it's just, especially in my position.
Yeah.
You know, it's just the art. It's everything. It's
what you're building for. It's what you're dreaming for. Yeah.
It's so hard to come by. It's rewarded financially. It's what we're paid for. It's what we're paid to do. You're the first one to disrupt that play, you know, and affect that. So it's definitely better than an interception. I'll leave that to the corners and the safeties.
See, when I was playing Madden, I preferred the interception because it used to do that screen thing.
Just it slows down.
I said, no, I'm not. You understand? I wouldn't have valued the sack as much at that time as the interception, man. I think the game puts more on the interception.
It does.
But hearing it from a real life experience is sick, man.
It's very hard to come by.
As athletes, we just love sport.
Right.
It's not about you don't box. Like it's sport.
Right.
And people that come from where we come from to get there, it's just special to hear. But
it's huge.
Man, what's the worst conditions you've played in? Because
the worst
I've
conditions.
seen some mad snow.
I've
seen some.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Buffalo for sure. My season in Buffalo was horrible. So we have, you know, the Bills Mafia, they love it. You know, they like the cold, they like the dome being open. But for me as a player and an African, you would have said that the other way around. You know what I mean? As an African, and as a player, I don't deal with the cold. I don't like the cold. You know, it's harder. And then plus the turf, the field is turf. So with the cold, it's harder. It feels like concrete. So the tackles, you know, running and hitting your cleats, everything is it hurts. It hurts. And then when you're on the sideline waiting to get put in, you're freezing, you're cold. It takes longer to warm up. You know, the likelihood of you getting hurt increases. And it was just miserable. It was just so miserable. But obviously, when you're in the game, you zone out and you don't really care about that. But as a person, it's just tough. You know,
I thought that because you guys playing mad conditions, man.
I'm telling you,
it's not like football, like soccer or football, where it's a bit of snow. They like cool games off.
No.
You men are out there. The end zone, you can't even see the end zone inside. You know, for real,
it's true.
Playing.
I'm telling you.
I want to switch over now to the academy, NFL Academy. Shout out to Rums on this. Rums is one of the first cameramen to work in NFL Academy.
I remember.
And just having the generation now having that opportunity that something like that exists, you know, to be able to expose their eyes sooner. How do you feel about that being put together? How do you feel like the academy's developed over time?
Honestly, it's huge. You know, this is what I mean. This is the opportunities that we need. You know, right now it's in Loughborough. You know, I'm hoping in the future it gets, you know, it expands and they have different academies in different boroughs and just creating more opportunities. You know, but it's using American football to create opportunities for, you know, student athletes between the ages of 16 to 19. You know, and right now they, you know, since its inception, I think they've got like 40 athletes have been offered scholarships. You know, they've currently got like 63 athletes, right, from like 13 different countries. So it's huge, you know, and it's the only academy outside of NFL Academy outside of the US. So it's the only one. So there's the
only one outside the US.
Outside of the US. So across Europe, everywhere, Africa, everyone's coming to this academy. So it's huge. It's just creating opportunities that we never had.
Yeah.
So I and that's what I believe in. I believe in opportunity because everyone has. This is what Osi said, and it really resonated with me. He says there's talent all across the world, but not opportunities. Like there's not a lot of opportunities.
That is the truth.
So if we can create more opportunities for these kids and give them options, it'll change lives because that's what changed my life.
Yeah.
You know, what changed my family's life. It's just the opportunity.
Because the way you had to go to get in compared to being able to be in an academy and I'd be like, Rums, we need to shoot this today. He'd be like, no, someone's getting sent over to this college in the States and I have to film the day of them getting a signing.
Right.
I mean, that's big.
I've had 40 scholarships.
It's very big.
40 scholarships.
It's very big, and I guess it's inspiring.
It is.
Someone like yourself is very inspiring to the next gen. Is there any messages or something someone has said to you, a younger athlete or someone coming up, that they've said they're giving you a compliment or something that you've been like, bro, that hit me. There's something.
So there was this time when we had a camp, and it was I think it was a tryout for the academy.
Okay.
And the kids were there, and myself and a few IPP guys were there from London, a few NFL players. And then the kid gave it, I'm encouraging the kid, I'm encouraging all of them and trying to keep the energy up. And he said, and I said, oh, I'm proud of you, like, well done. And he got emotional and he started crying. And he told me that nobody in his life has ever said that they're proud of him.
Wow.
So, just to have that, it just shows the state of some of these kids and the environments that they're growing up and the mindset and so just to be able to do that, just to be able to create these be a part of these movements and these opportunities and these initiatives that will instill confidence, that will instill sense of community, brotherhood, and support to these kids. And hopefully it will lead to other things in terms, even if it's not American football, but they're also getting an education.
Yeah.
It's just
which is very important. Don't shun the education. My mom told me to reinforce it, and she reinforced it on me. So don't hear sports.
Right.
Learn your books.
I agree.
Yeah?
Learn your books.
Before you earn nothing in the sports and it gets taken from you because of more educated individuals.
Right.
Yeah.
It's cool. But in that moment, it just let me know that the importance of what the NFL is doing, the NFL Foundation, big kids, IPP, NFL Academy, just everything that's going on, and to grow the sport in the UK, it just shows the importance and how the impact is having on the youth and the communities that obviously we grew up in and we love, and so it's just, and so that meant that moment will always stay with me, and it will just keep me, and honestly, it fuels me, it just keeps me going.
That's it, man. I know we're running out of time slightly, so I'm gonna get a couple more questions.
Of course.
Then we've got some quick fire questions.
Oh, let's go. Let's do it.
The next couple questions I've got for you. Man, my brain just went blank.
It's alright.
Does music play a big part in your life?
Yeah, it does. His do-rag was too tight.
See, you were 6'1". You were 6'1". We have a different conversation. But at 6'6", I'll let it be. I'll humble myself today.
So what's your top 5 pre-game songs?
It depends. Usually, everyone's got headphones, and they can zone out if they want. But then there's the communal music that everyone plays. So I just kind of sometimes just vibe to that. So it's whatever's playing on the thing. But I usually come back if it's a really good game and I want to focus. I always come back to UK rap. I always put on some Pot Piper. I always put on some Benny Banks, Young Teflon.
Every day he's like,
We got the UK band there.
Those are solid. All-star lineup.
Because you know what happens? Have you spent more time living in America then?
It's always back and forth. So my seasons, I've spent more time in the UK.
Okay.
I think I've only been about 10 years in America, back and forth. So off seasons in the UK, in seasons.
But it's easy to get swayed into
It is. It is, but there's some good music. There's some good artists over there. But generally, I just stay around the mainstream. I stay around the Meat Mills and So I think that kind of fuels me. Just motivation music, really.
Yeah, definitely pregame.
Yeah.
Pregame and celebration.
Oh, for sure.
Meek will get you going. I remember my question.
What's that? The blood has gone back to
It's come back to me now. The Super Bowl.
Okay.
This year's Super Bowl.
Yes.
Now,
it's going to be huge.
I wanted to see the Ravens.
Oh, man.
We all did, man.
I wanted to see the Lions. I wanted to see the story we don't normally see. Right? But we've ended up in a situation with the Chiefs and the 49ers.
Yeah.
Now, how are you feeling about this year's Super Bowl?
I was the same. I wanted the Ravens, Detroit Super Bowl. You know what Lamar's done. I felt like he's earned it. You know, just trying to change the culture and put the way he put Ravens on his back. You know, and also what Dan Campbell's done with the Detroit. You know, didn't have a lot of success in the early seasons, but then he's turned it around. You know, being the leader. that would have been a very like Cinderella-like story. You know, it would have been an amazing Super Bowl. But I won't sleep on this one. You know, I won't sleep on the Chiefs and 49ers. It's definitely going to be a shootout. Both teams are very balanced. You know, on the Chiefs, we've got, you know, Mahomes, we've got Kelsey, we've got the you know the
face.
Who else? We've got the stars. You know, we've got
Taylor Swift. We've got Taylor Swift on there.
We've got Pachenko. You know, on the defense, we've got Chris Jones. You know, and then obviously 49ers, we've got the stars, we've got Christian McCaffrey, Purdy, you know, Kittle, you know, all of that. We've got Bosa. It's just going to be crazy. But for me, until it's unproven, until they get knocked out, I'm never going to bet against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
I'm never going to bet. They just know how to win. They do, but it's going to be a shock. It's going to be a very, very close, tight game. Yeah. You know, both teams have amazing athletes, and they both have earned the right to be in that position.
The Chiefs, they're in that Patriot bag right now.
I think
you know what I mean? They're in that Patriot,
that winning spirit right now.
Yeah, that Miami Heat's back. You know when the Lakers back.
Right.
You know when they go into that season, and they just know what we're gonna do.
Been there, done that.
We know how to get there.
Exactly.
We know how to win.
Exactly.
So it is gonna be an action-packed game. I'm looking forward to the halftime show. Usher's gonna smash his team. You know what I mean? I know Usher got hits for days, so I'm gonna be looking forward to halftime as well.
Honestly,
it's reached that section of the show. Quick fire questions.
Let's do it.
So Lee comes up with his own. I come up with my own. Somehow we end up writing the same questions sometimes. But I'm gonna let Lee start off with this one, and then I'm gonna fire away.
What's up?
Let's see. No returns either.
No returns. Okay, let's start. Jollof, Gussie.
Oh. What?
Quick one.
That ain't a quick one.
That's not a quick. I'll go.
This Arnie's gonna say.
I'm like, but it's what you eat is a Gussie. Pound the jam and a Gussie.
Okay.
That's what keeps me 6'6".
Okay. Mercedes or Range Rover?
Mercedes.
Steelers or Ravens? Defense.
Ravens.
49ers or Chiefs?
Chiefs.
Jordan or LeBron?
Fudge.
You're the one saying don't buy the Jordan, so you better pick wisely.
Yeah, LeBron. He's my era, you know.
Living in Dallas or Atlanta?
Dallas.
Indian food or Chinese?
Chinese.
Meat pie or Jamaican patty?
Jamaican patty.
Okay. Andy, Joshua.
Why did you want to know? Why was you so reluctant to say that? Is there a problem with the community? Is this something you want to get on the gym?
I'm just saying what I grew up on, innit? There wasn't a lot of shops selling meat pies.
Hip hop or Afrobeats?
Afrobeats.
Okay, Andy Joshua or Francis Ngannou in their fight?
Oh, in this fight. Oh, this is huge. I want Francis, man. I want Francis. But I love and I love and I respect both of them, and I want, you know, and I mean, Joshua's a force, but what Francis is doing, you know, is amazing. Where he's come from, his journey. I think we know what's gonna happen, right? You know, we saw it with Fury. I like Francis.
Okay, so
but we know the boxing's got a script too.
I don't know nothing about it.
Conspiracy. Okay. To play, running back or linebacker?
They both are terrible.
I like the quick fire question.
But I'll go running back. I want to hit. I want to be one. Yeah, I want to be one running the ball. Yeah.
All right. I'm going in with man now.
What have we got?
McDonald's or KFC?
Oh, McDonald's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brady or go no.
Only UK McDonald's. I don't eat American McDonald's.
Okay.
Is it? Why?
Yeah, it's just
salty.
It's too much preservatives, too much stuff.
It tastes good though.
Yeah.
I hear you. No, I do hear you. Brady or Rodgers?
Brady.
Jordan 4s or Air Force 1s?
Wow.
Put into the knife.
Air Forces, man. What am I, a child?
I knew you was going to say Air Forces. London or the States?
London, for sure.
Come on.
London.
Lil Kim or Nicki Minaj?
What is this?
Quick fire question.
Nicki Minaj.
Okay, Biggie or Drake?
What? How do you get Biggie and Drake in the same?
Two goats. Two goats.
Drake.
Drake.
Yeah,
Drake. Ferrari or Lambo?
I can't even fit in a Ferrari. So I'm gonna go Lambo.
Fair enough. Mansion or penthouse AP?
Oh, a mansion. Yeah, I want space, man. I want a place to grow my chickens.
And my last one, Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society?
That was a good one. That's a good one.
Ricky!
I know. Can I go paid in full?
You know what? If you was gonna die for if you was gonna die for that was the right way. Fair enough, man.
Appreciate it.
That's a good way to wrap up the interview. You know, do you have any questions for us just before we're done?
No, I don't have any questions, but honestly, I would just like to give you guys your flowers, man, for doing what you're doing. I think honestly, it's cool. I just think what you guys are doing are amazing. You know, it's positive. It's and it's just the message that you guys are always trying to put out there is always positive. So I just love it, man. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, man, I feel good, man. Hey, I'm gonna have a good rest of my day. You know, one day I'd like to get the opportunity to see you play in person. I think I'm gonna put that down on my list. Yeah, and you see me fight as well.
God willing, I'll play in London, and if that happens, you're definitely there.
Hey, you heard it here first. People, thank you for tuning in to RILxWILLS. Make sure you check the streaming platforms. Obviously, the YouTube, make sure you're subscribing, and we're going to continue to bring more guests for you. We out.
Take care.